this is not the time to turn back. The public sector should keep preparing to deploy CBDCs.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting at more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence.
I hate when countries go off the dollar. I would not allow countries to go off the dollar, because when we lose that standard, that will be like losing a revolutionary war. That will be a hit to our country, just like losing a war. And we can't let that happen. And too many countries now are fighting to get off the dollar.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, the New World Order book shows you how the world really works, and it is definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. And 2024 is going to be one of our most entertaining years. We have the presidential election. We have the drums are beating. We have the emerging markets going to be flipping the switch on the fourth industrial revolution. Now, we had the Fed signal rate cuts, but remember, guys, they haven't cut rates yet. So we know the master magicians are about to set up that distraction. So therefore, they can cut rates while we still have inflation. And in the fourth quarter, once the election is over, we know the movie begins. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now, we have Bitcoin and crypto pumping. Guys, we know we're the only game in town. And on top of it, at the beginning of every single month, guys, we get a pump. And make sure you're hitting the like button. If you're not a part of the Patreons, make sure you're hitting that Cash App if you're benefiting off the work. But make sure you're enjoying these next 5 months, because the distractions are about to start stepping up. We know once they get to this election, guys, they're going to start pulling the rug. Now we have the CFTC versus the SEC on Ethereum. And we know the CFTC been stated that Ethereum was a commodity, but we know they have to play the Hegelian dialectic. They have to bring in the drama. And we know the Hegelian dialectic is undefeated. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, guys, make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. We have yield rates, which are pushed down due to weak jobs report. And, guys, we've been getting a weak jobs report. It's just the fact is they revise it at the end and never report it. But we see the manipulation. The bond market reacts, and then, of course, yield rates drop because they expect a cut. But we know the Fed wants to keep rates higher for longer to destroy this whole global economy. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And then, guys, we have the dollar down big, made a slight comeback, but that was because of Japan. And then we have volume and crypto up. We have Tether and USDC. And then, of course, guys, we have the Fed. Repo at $450 billion. Make sure you're pulling that on a daily basis. And we have the Fed manipulating the bond market once more. Remember, last year, the fourth quarter, Jerome Powell stated he was going to cut rates. Now that we get a bad jobs report, the bond market is acting again as though he's going to be cutting rates. But we know there's no rate cuts because we still have too much inflation, and we know that's all coming from corporate greed. And then we have some of the Fed representatives stating that we may need a rate hike. And then, of course, the Fed is going to stick to this 2% inflation goal, which they know by the numbers we're not going to get to until next year because of all the spending, all the money printing. Remember, you're in a simulation. You're in a plan. They've already ran the numbers probably 10 years ago, and they raised the rates so quickly because they know it takes time for the rates to seep into the economy. Now that it's seeped into the economy, even if they cut rates, it's not going to help this economy. It's already broken. But that's a part of the fragmented plan. They want to destroy this whole global economy in order for the fourth industrial revolution to rise, where the robots, algorithms, and drones take the economy over, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep go inside the metaverse. But first, we have to have that big distraction, that crisis, because remember, during a crisis, you can do things you never would have been able to do. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And that's the reason why we had the drums are beating. Cyber attacks is election year. Oh, these distractions are coming. Now we have spot Bitcoin ETFs. We have BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale, of course, all up. And we have Grayscale finally stops the outflows. So the bleeding finally stops. And these spot Bitcoin ETFs is another indicator now for us. And I told you that Bitcoin and crypto is going to be pumping and dumping, but we're going to slowly be pulling back. Remember what Jerome Powell stated? They're going to slow up QT. And then plus we have rates higher for longer. Now getting over into a little crypto news. Now we have Stellar smart contracts bring DeFi to the real world. And if you've been in crypto for a long time, we know Jed McCaleb got a free pass where everybody else was getting in trouble. So that means that he's definitely a part of the plan. And we see Stellar moving right along in the emerging markets. We saw Ripple XRP protocol getting all this trouble, and Stellar is the same protocol. Yes, you can't make this stuff up, but remember guys, your life is an illusion, and TV is your reality. Now we have Layer 0 offers civil farmers a chance to self-report in the name of durability. And civil farmers have until May 17th to report with no questions asked. And then lastly, guys, we have the SEC postpones decision on 7 RCC spot Bitcoin and carbon credit futures ETF. And I've said it time and time again. Carbon credits are the next big thing. If you've done your research on Mark Cuban and the other billionaires when it comes to carbon credits, they've already been laying down the foundation, been making deals with different countries. But just like AI, I was talking about it 10 years ago. And when I first started this channel, I started talking about carbon credits. We know the plan for the fourth industrial revolution. Remember, those who are conscious are 10 to 20 years ahead. Those who are not are 10 to 20 years behind. And by the time they wake up, the machines will be here. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But guys, all I have for you. Don't forget about the books, Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Drama Team Save the Village. Part 2. King Joshua and Drama Team Save New York. Long COVID 33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.